Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Broken Berean. Wow. I had a friend text me and said, "Hey, they're releasing the new Batman Arkham game only on Quest." I was like, "What?" Now, a lot of gamers out there will hands down tell you that the Arkham games are some of the most phenomenal games as far as gameplay and story out there. They're wonderful, with the exception of Suicide Kill the Justice League, which was complete trash and cost Warner Brothers $200 million and a massive loss in the game. And we all know why. Sweet Baby Inc. They really just ruined everything about Batman in that one. It was terrible. I never played it, wasn't going to play it. But apparently it's true. Batman Arkham Shadow is going to be the newest Batman Arkham game released that is not Suicide Squad in 10 years. And it is going to be only available on the Meta Quest 3, a VR headset. Now, there's no way this game is going to do well. I can only assume they got paid massive amounts of money to be an exclusive on this headset, trying to bolster the sales for the Meta Quest, and I don't see it happening. I really don't. Because I wasn't sure what the cost was, so I just did a quick, hey, let's see how much it costs. Oh, starting at $500. Starting. That's the basics. That's not any of the accessories or anything like that. That's just the headset. You're going to have to pay for controllers and other things like that that are related to the Quest for the VR. But no, you're going to tell us the only way to play this is in VR. It's going to make you feel like Batman. I don't care. Nope. Basically, you can get yourself a top tier gaming PC with everything and still not come out ahead on this one. Because a gaming PC, a good one, let's just go mid tier. You're going to pay at least $1,500 for a mid high tier gaming PC. A little less if you build it yourself. But if you go to, ironically, someplace like Meta PCs that does this, and that's what they specialize in, and that's what I'm running my computer now, is one that I bought for $1,200, and it's incredible. I love it. I'm having a blast getting back into PC gaming on it, and $1,200. And then if I want to do that, I want to play it, I've got to buy $500 VR headset, probably about another $150 for controllers, and attach that to my PC, because you have to have a decent PC to run this thing. You can't just stick it on your 12-year-old laptop and go. There's no way this game is going to do well. People are not going to invest in something that standalone is more expensive than any console on the market. Even with the Pro edition of PS5 coming out at the end of the year, there's no way you're going to convince hardcore gamers that play Batman Arkham games to pour money into this, into VR. There's nothing wrong with VR games. It's just not what your average gamer wants. Yes, I go to gaming arcades and I will uh, pick up a couple here and there, do some saber battles, uh, stuff like that, and it's fun, but it can be very disorienting the longer you play. And coming out of it, taking it off, you just feel disoriented. VR gaming is a very niche market, and the fact that Conjure is putting this exclusively on MetaQuest 3 is the absolute worst idea. It's like WB and DC keep making the weirdest moves when it comes to gaming. I mean, come on. The 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 Justice League Ruby crossover was weird. Even in the comics, was a bit weird. The animated movies, the two of them were weird, just felt odd. And we are getting a Watchmen animated adaptation, which we don't know how it's going to be, and it's coming out in two parts. I don't know what's going on at Warner Brothers and DC to figure out what's going on in their heads, because this is the absolute stupidest move in the gaming industry. To do exclusive games to a system that hardly anybody plays. Really? Square Enix broke off their exclusivity deal with Sony because they were losing large amounts of money from their Final Fantasy franchise, when all their reports saying they could double, even triple their income if it wasn't solely on PlayStation. You know, they go back to the original console that gave them their start, Nintendo, or to Xbox, or to Steam, and man, oh man, will they make a lot more money. Because it's not like the old days of getting a PS2. It's just a file. It's got the Blu-ray player, so you got two devices in one, and it's great. If you're forking out money for a console and a PC and a Switch and an Xbox and a PlayStation, and you have to have all these systems just to play the games you want to play, it's going to fail. And this is the first time I've noticed a major studio with a major franchise like this to go exclusively to a VR platform. And I'm going to be very generous in saying I almost assuredly believe this will flop worse than the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Why? Because no one's going to buy it. I mean, just if you can, hardware cost is going to be, let's just round it out and say $650, more expensive than a PlayStation. Then you got to buy the game on top of that, which is probably going to be around $70 to $80. But you never know. They might be doing some weird things like they've done for, I forgot what game that was just recently, where you had to buy, the Star Wars Outlaws, where, if you want the exclusive Jabba the Hutt quest, you can't buy the basic version for $100. You got to buy the $140 deluxe version. If you keep nickel and dime your gamers and your consumers over and over again and force them to buy a whole new platform to play your game, guess what? They're going to check out. I'm not going to do something like that. I have played, I think it was Arkham Knights. I did think I played that one. I didn't play them. I enjoyed them, but I wasn't, at the time, I was not forking out the money for a high-end console. I mean, when they were coming out, I was still playing on my GameCube. And I don't even think the Switch had been released yet. So, yeah. I mean, no, I'm not going to do it. And a lot of gamers are going to feel the same way. DC, Warner Brothers, I don't care how much money they gave you, this was a bad call. Because your only option is if the deal for exclusivity from Meta is enough to fully cover the cost of this game in its entirety will you have a chance of breaking even. So, Conjure, you're dumb. Warner Brothers, you're dumb. DC, you're dumb. This is an absolute wreck of an idea. I can't even explain to myself how I could justify doing this, wanting to get into the Batman Arkham games now that I've got a decent PC. I can't get all of them, but I can get some of them on Steam. I don't can't get them on my Switch yet. I'm not going to fork out another grand just to play a game. I'm not. And a lot of consumers are going to go, yep, we're not going to do that either. Because I don't want to do a fully immersive game for hours on end. And that's what these games are. These aren't like, oh, you play for a little bit. No, you sit down and you play for hours. Because if the story is good, like in the others, you want to keep playing and playing and playing until you can't play anymore. And then go, oh, I better get some sleep. No, this is a complete and utter disaster. I'll come back when the numbers actually come out on sales and just prove that this video, that my predictions are correct. Because what crazy person is going to drop $1,000 to play a video game? It's not going to happen. I mean, it's just not. I know Meta wants to be and expand their portfolio and all that, but honestly, it's the dumbest move you could make. If it went multi-platform, if it just went to PlayStation and Steam, they'd make a fortune. If you put it on Xbox and Switch, even though the current Switch may not be able to handle the new one. We don't know yet. But if you release it across all platforms, you'd make a ton of money because people want to get back into the Arkham games. Especially after that bad taste of Suicide killed the Justice League. We want to get back into a good Batman Arkham story. But you've just shot yourself in the foot. So, I don't know what to tell you guys except that I hope you still are able to operate your studio Conjure after this. And Warner Brothers, you're going to about to take a huge loss on another DC video game. And it's your fault. I don't care how slick Mark Zuckerberg is. This was a bad call. And someone who actually plays these games should have been in that negotiation to tell you this was a terrible idea. But no, you're going with what you got. And it's going to bite you in the butt. It really is. There's no way around it. So, just because I'm making a Batman Arkham video, tell me what your favorite Arkham game is below. I haven't gotten into them, but I want to get into them. And I know there's some that I can no longer play anymore because they were live service or they're no longer supported. But let me know. Should I start from the beginning or just what's your favorite one that I should just play right out the gate? Because as soon as they start rolling out all these to Steam, I'm going to start picking them up. So until next time, my friends, as always, I love you all and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Good night.